A young woman walking through the dense woods of Pennsylvania on a crisp autumn afternoon. She's alone, her boots crunching softly against the fallen leaves, when she stumbles upon something strange, a rusted metal object half buried in the earth. At first glance, it looks like an old canister or perhaps some forgotten relic of war. But as she kneels to inspect it closer, she realizes its true nature. It's unexploded ordnance, a bomb left over from World War I. And what happens next will leave investigators baffled for years. Hey friends, you're in Dreamcatcher Stories, your cozy corner for stories that got lost along the way. Hit me up in the comments and tell me how this one hits you. Now, let's get sneaky and peek behind the curtain. The story begins in 2021, deep within the rolling hills of northeastern Pennsylvania. This area is known for its serene landscapes, dotted with small towns where everyone knows each other by name. It's a place where life moves slowly, and people take pride in their connection to history, especially the remnants of wars long past. For decades, locals have whispered about hidden dangers lurking beneath the surface, leftover munitions buried during training exercises nearly a century ago. Most dismissed these tales as mere folklore, until one fateful day when reality collided with legend. Lydia was no stranger to the woods. Growing up in this part of the country meant spending countless hours exploring trails and creeks, developing a deep appreciation for the natural world around her. On that particular afternoon, however, Lydia wasn't out for leisure. She had been searching for mushrooms to bring home to her family, venturing farther than usual into areas less frequented by hikers. The forest here felt different, quieter, heavier somehow, as if it carried secrets unwilling to be uncovered. When Lydia spotted the metallic glint peeking out from the soil, curiosity got the better of her. At first, she thought it might be treasure, a piece of history waiting to be rediscovered. Carefully, she brushed away the dirt, revealing more of the object's shape. Its size and weight suggested it wasn't just any artifact. It was far too large and ominous to ignore. Lydia froze, her instincts screaming at her to step back. She had heard enough stories growing up to recognize the potential danger before her. Her heart raced as she pulled out her phone, snapping photos and sending them to local authorities. Within hours, bomb disposal experts arrived on the scene, confirming her worst fears. This was indeed live ammunition, untouched and volatile after all these years. Word spread quickly throughout the community. Neighbors gathered near the edge of the woods, whispering anxiously about how close they'd come to disaster. Bomb squads worked tirelessly to secure the area, cordoning off trails and warning residents to stay clear. As days turned into weeks, additional discoveries emerged. More bombs, grenades, even fragments of shrapnel scattered across miles of woodland. Each find sent shockwaves through the town, forcing everyone to confront the lingering scars of conflict buried not only in the ground but also in their collective memory. Let's rewind to understand how such relics ended up here in the first place. During World War I, parts of rural Pennsylvania were transformed into makeshift military training grounds. Soldiers practiced maneuvers, simulated combat scenarios, and tested weaponry in preparation for deployment overseas. While most explosives were detonated or removed following the war, records suggest that many remained behind, either intentionally buried or simply abandoned due to oversight. Over time, forests reclaimed the land, hiding these deadly remnants beneath layers of soil and vegetation. Generations later, few remembered the full extent of what lay beneath their feet. But why now? Why did Lydia stumble upon this bomb in 2021, nearly a century after it was likely discarded? Some speculated climate change played a role, with shifting weather patterns causing erosion that exposed previously concealed hazards. Others pointed to increased human activity in once remote areas, suggesting that modern development had disturbed the delicate balance keeping these artifacts hidden. Whatever the reason, Lydia's discovery marked the beginning of a broader reckoning, one that would force the town to grapple with both its past and present. As news of the unexploded ordnance spread beyond local borders, national attention followed. Journalists descended upon the town, eager to document the unfolding drama. Among them was Linda Hayes, an investigative reporter renowned for her work uncovering forgotten histories. Linda spent weeks interviewing residents, poring over archival documents, and collaborating with historians to piece together a comprehensive timeline of events. What she uncovered painted a chilling picture. Reports of similar incidents dating back decades, all linked to the same stretch of land. Yet somehow, none had triggered widespread alarm or action until now. Then came the twist. Forensic analysis revealed traces of chemical compounds inside several recovered bombs, indicating they may have been designed for biological warfare. While never deployed during World War I, experimental weapons programs explored such possibilities, leaving behind prototypes that posed catastrophic risks if mishandled. Could these devices still harbor active agents capable of causing harm? Authorities scrambled to assess the situation, enlisting toxicology experts and environmental scientists to evaluate potential threats. Meanwhile, panic gripped the community as rumors swirled about possible contamination affecting water supplies and wildlife. Public fascination with the case grew exponentially thanks to burgeoning true crime podcasts and documentaries. Among them was Time's Echoes of War*, hosted by investigative journalist Mark Thompson. Each episode combined archival footage, expert analysis, and newly uncovered evidence to paint a vivid picture of events surrounding Lydia's discovery. Listeners became armchair detectives, debating theories ranging from government cover-ups to accidental exposure. During one particularly heated discussion forum, a listener named Brian Carter posed a thought-provoking question. What if we're looking at more than just leftover bombs? What if this land holds darker secrets? Fast forward to 2023, and advancements in technology offered new hope. Researchers developed sophisticated imaging techniques capable of detecting underground anomalies without disturbing the soil. Using ground-penetrating radar and drone surveillance, teams mapped extensive networks of buried munitions spanning hundreds of acres. These findings prompted renewed scrutiny of similar cases nationwide, sparking debates about responsibility and accountability. Who should bear the cost of cleanup efforts? How could communities protect themselves from future risks while honoring the sacrifices made by those who trained on these lands? One breakthrough involved analyzing soil samples collected near recovery sites. Results indicated elevated levels of heavy metals and other contaminants, raising concerns about long-term ecological damage. Environmental activists joined forces with local leaders to demand immediate intervention, arguing that failure to act would jeopardize public health and safety. Their campaign gained traction online, drawing support from thousands of individuals passionate about preserving both history and habitat. Social media platforms buzzed with hashtags like #ClearTheLand and #ProtectOurFuture, amplifying calls for systemic change. Meanwhile, personal stories added emotional depth to the narrative. Families shared memories of loved ones who served in World War I, highlighting the sacrifices made by previous generations. Others recounted harrowing encounters with unexploded ordnance, underscoring the ongoing threat posed by these silent killers. One grandmother recalled how her father narrowly escaped injury as a child when he accidentally unearthed a grenade while playing outside. "We've lived with this fear for so long," she said tearfully during a town hall meeting. "It's time someone finally listens." By now, you might think the story ends here, but it doesn't. In recent months, researchers announced they had decoded messages embedded in military correspondence archived during the war era. Using advanced algorithms, analysts identified patterns suggesting deliberate concealment of hazardous materials rather than accidental abandonment. Were officials aware of the dangers posed by these devices? If so, why hadn't they taken steps to mitigate risks sooner? Questions lingered, fueling skepticism and distrust among affected communities. As investigations continued, amateur sleuths joined professional detectives in piecing together fragments of information. Online forums dedicated to discussing leads attracted thousands of members worldwide. Conversations ranged from speculative musings to well-researched arguments supported by data. One member, Amanda Grant, gained prominence when she identified similarities between Lydia's case and other unsolved mysteries involving wartime debris. Her findings prompted authorities to explore connections previously dismissed as coincidental. Are we looking at isolated incidents or part of something larger? Throughout these developments, Emily maintained a complex relationship with her subject matter. On one hand, she felt driven by professional curiosity and moral obligation to uncover truths buried beneath layers of myth and misinformation. On the other hand, she grappled with personal demons triggered by immersing herself so deeply in darkness. How do you study something so monstrous without letting it consume you? She mused during a rare moment of reflection. Her efforts culminated in a comprehensive book published in late 2023, titled Times Beneath the Surface: Unearthing America's Forgotten Wars*. The manuscript combined historical research, contemporary analysis, and first-hand accounts to create the most complete picture of Lydia's journey ever assembled. And there we go. Another memory back from the dark. Don't go too far. I've got more mysteries itching to be told. What do you think happened to Lydia? Let me know in the comments below. Your thoughts matter, and they shape the stories I share next. So go ahead, type it out, and hit send. I'll see you there.